Hello, hello, hello. We are live with the last event of Voices of Today 2020. Welcome to Poetic Justice, an event in partnership with Voices of Today and the Toronto Media Arts Council. Well, firstly, my name is Robin Corsidou. My pronouns are she, he, they. Do you ever just forget your own pronouns because, you're you and people need to remember your pronouns? Yeah, me too. My pronouns are she, he, they, used interchangeably. I'm a Virgo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising. This is my small son, Jackson. He is sleepy. I can't remember what his sign is, but I'm sure it's a fire sign. Now, before we get started, of course, we want to acknowledge the land that we're on, and it's a little weird because we're all currently not in the same place. We are all on different territory, but traditionally, Voices of Today has taken place in what's colonially known as Toronto, which is traditionally the territory of the Huron, the Wendat, the Batoon, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, as well as treaty territory, specifically the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe, and the Toronto Purchase Treaty 13. As we move online, Voices of Today looks to amplify the voices of the original caretakers of the land across the globe. It's our goal to honor and offer education to everyone on over 10,000 years of Indigenous culture and history that exists worldwide. We recognize the majority of our current organizers live across Turtle Island, which is what the Lenni, Lenape, and Iroquois people traditionally have called North America. As a festival, we acknowledge that reconciliation takes ongoing efforts from non-Indigenous peoples. We ask all non-Indigenous attendees to continuously learn about the history of the land and its peoples, from where they live and occupy, as well as to treat the land with respect the best way they know how to. I'm currently not in Toronto. I'm in Hamilton, Ontario, which is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee, and I am a racialized settler here. My family is originally from Punjab, India, and it's really important for me to acknowledge that and to remind myself consistently, like as a child of immigrant and to other children of immigrants, that we may have won the birthplace lottery by not being born where our parents were, because where our parents came from, they were probably fleeing war and violence and genocide. I know my family was from Punjab, and we came here, and my family's consistently like, Canada's like the best, like this is so much better than the violence we were facing. And we often forget that just because we aren't facing outward violence and genocide anymore doesn't mean that Canada is genocide-free land. There are so many Indigenous people who are still fighting today for their land back and for all these things that we fled from. And so it's really important for me to remind myself and other immigrants and children of immigrants that, be the help your parents never got back where they're from. I want to urge you to look up any nearby resources, nearby organizations that are Indigenous-led that you could help donate your money, time, or energy to. And get acquainted with the land that you're on and know whose people and land you're on. So once again, I'm Robin. This is a live stream show. Welcome to the YouTubes. This is a lovely, lovely, tender queer space, and hate speech is not going to be tolerated tonight, whether or not that's in any of the things that are going to be aired tonight, or if you're in our Discord chat. No hate speech, because I will cry all over you virtually. I am so soft. Do you see this cat in the corner here? Yeah, I'm softer than that cat, okay? I cry easier than Jackson does over there. And in case you're like, what, Discord? There's a link on the doodly-doo right here for you to join our wonderful conversation. It's a space where people are just chatting away, sending gifts, emojis, things italicized. Take advantage of it. Poetry slam audiences and poetry event audiences are always so rowdy. And I love being the rowdiest, so try and out-rowdy me and out-tender me in the Discord. Some of the poems you're going to be hearing here tonight may contain sensitive topics, and I want you to prioritize yourself. I know this is a show and we're watching artists, but it is totally a-okay and not rude at all if you need to, shut off your device, mute the screen, leave for a little bit, take a stretch, get some water if you have to. Self-care is the most important thing. You're the most important thing, and I want you to take care of yourself. If you are triggered by anything tonight and you want somebody to talk to, we do have active listeners in our Discord. I know one of them is Britt, but both of their names are pinned up in the Discord, and they've also both introduced themselves. And if you want to talk to somebody, they're there. Also, if you're like, maybe I don't want to talk to these active listeners, but is there someone else I can talk to? Yes, we have a wonderful human being called Rabbit Richards who is around and has been around this entire festival to message if you feel unsafe at any point, at any time, for any reason. You can message Rabbit on Discord and then move off of the Discord to texting if that makes you feel more comfortable, or like you can figure out a way with Rabbit, but they are here to listen to you if you need somebody to listen to. Also, if you want to still buy a ticket, you still can. I know this is the last event of festival, but if you're like, you know what, yeah, take my money, I can give you some money. Ticket links are right there for this event. At least 50% of all of our ticket sales are going to a different organization every day. Today's wonderful organization is called House of Pentacles, and they're a film training program and production house designed to launch Black trans youth ages 18 to 35 into the film industry and tell stories woven at the intersections of being Black and trans. We have a simple mission: to train the next generation of Black trans storytellers and filmmakers, to leverage our brand to get Black trans filmmakers paid projects in their communities, and to pay Black trans trainees to work on hot projects that further the histories of Black trans people globally. They are a wonderfully awesome organization. And if you're like, yeah, I want to give them some cha-ching, go ahead and buy a ticket. And at least 50% of our proceeds today are going to be going to them because they're wonderful. Awesome. So like I said before, this is a showcase that is partnered up with TMAC, which is the Toronto Media Arts Council. And I'd like to introduce a really wonderful person, Morgan from TMAC. It's going to appear on the screen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for that great introduction. So my name is Morgan, and I am the members and program coordinator at the Canadian Filmmakers Distribution Center, and we are housed in TMAC. So CFMDC we are a not-for-profit, non-commercial media arts distributor, and we specialize in independent artist-made work on film and video, including works from historically underrepresented communities. We really advocate for a holistic understanding of production, distribution, and exhibition that prioritizes artists' rights, accessibility, and the creation of new audience through education and critical thinking. And we've been around for about 53 years, so we have one of the most important collections of artist-made moving image on film in Canada, and we're housed in TMAC in the Toronto Media Arts Centre in downtown Toronto, where we also have a film vault for our 16mm, 35mm, and 8mm collection. And we're just super excited to present this program, which features some film works from the CFMDC collection, highlighting works by filmmakers Christina Battle, Francisca Duran, Larissa Fan, Philip Leonard, and Mathieu Halle. So each film has been paired with an artist from Voices of Today to create a poem in response to the work. And that poem has been overlaid onto the film. So that's what we're going to watch today. And I just wanted to say I've been really blown away by all of the contributions from the participants from Voice Project, and we're just like really honored to be part of it. And we also want to acknowledge that we received really generous funding from the Canada Council for the Arts, which led to this creation of this program as part of our Poetic Justice project, which does continue into 2021 with a couple other partners. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff. Check out our website, cfmdc.org. And thanks for tuning in, and I really hope that you enjoy the program.
Awesome, thank you so much for that. And without further diddly-do, let's get into the show. I need to find a better way to introduce music and intro music to showcase hosting. That's the thing I will figure out eventually. So let's introduce the first artist. We have Austin Aneku, aka the Noble Savage, coming up first. Bear with us while we try and fiddle with the technology doodad. We're gonna restart that this time with some audio so we can hear the Noble Savage's awesome work.
Obstinacy. To be stubborn, determined to do what one wants, and hard to overcome. Obstinacy. Large groupings of buffalo. So, in other words, something that no longer exists. I have the heart of a buffalo, and my heart is in this land. Everything we take, we equally give back. And we learned it all through the connection of buffalo and man. Maybe it's more in tune to say indigenous man, because the newcomers all came with a different kind of plan. The buffalo provided everything we had, at the same time, not just material things, they were more than that. They were protectors or our last ancestors visiting. Now there's so few of them they don't even turn up in animal prisons. The buffalo jump was the act of forcing an obstinacy of buffalo into a no-water cliff dive, not leaving a single one alive so that the next hunt the buffalo wouldn't know to run and hide at the sight of a human. Every part of the buffalo was used, none left in ruins, and the newcomers saw what we were doing. Forced us onto reserves, that's their own version of herding. Or maybe residential schools are a better metaphor for the drastic level of how many of our people they were hurting. And now they see us as the burden. Dirty, criminal Indian, and we get no other word in. Canada's national animal is a beaver. I ponder as to why we didn't choose the buffalo. However, I don't question it for too long, because every one of us already know. Canada refuses to emphasize their mistakes or the treaties they broke. They saw that we drew strength from them, saw that they provided our entire livelihood, so now they taunt us with mountains of skulls and hoods. But this obstinacy, whether slaughtered or not, will continue to empower my people to keep pushing on, to be stubborn and hard to overcome. But since all the buffalo are gone, I am now back to my human heart. But now my spirit is that of the mighty buffalo. An obstinacy in spirit, and I'll be damned if we don't change that definition into downright impossible to overcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Austin, for that wonderful, wonderful poem. I don't know what it is, but just putting poetry on top of film is just artsy in a good way, in a great way. Awesome. Let's see what y'all have to say in the Discord. And if y'all want to share your thoughts in the Discord, there's going to be a link popping up real soon here, so you can go ahead and join it. But let's see. The show with the ka-chow emoji. Art, my heart is ready. This poet, oh wow, yes, the buffalo. Next year we can have a technical difficulties emoji. Would be lovely. This poem is hitting me in the heart. Oh wow. Wow, this poet is great. I ponder as to why we didn't choose the buffalo. Yes, tell them. Now they taunt us with mountains of skulls and hooves. This poem, hi Austin. Hell yeah, Austin. Thank you so, so much for that wonderful, wonderful poem. Austin, you consistently bring the fire, and I love to see it. We're going to move on to our next wonderful poet. Give it up for Mateo Geneva.
Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. When I first saw you, I pictured our home together. Perfect wooden floors, children's laughter, our bodies tangled. In the light, your shoes sit planted. We breathe the same. In perfect truth, I have begged God to nullify the sin of rushed breath. I pretend we are the first. Entrenched in delicious exploration, I pretend I don't yet know of disappointment. I've dreamt since girlhood that someone would make a good boy out of me, so I submit to you, my Adam, a dedicated love of mood-ring heart and lost flesh. You are a good man and strong, so I give you this and everything until I am breast on bone and still let you suck the juice from my rib. Did Eve ever have to ask Adam to stay? I have learned through my parents and theirs how to dedicate my every move to you, and so, my gorgeous love, know that I am warm and meant only for you. Do you trust me? Do you know how to hold a bone without breaking it? To love you is to desert the strength I was born with, to ignore that I, too, am worth guiltless pleasure. I breathe life into you, and still, no one has taught you you aren't a god. You're just another godless boy at my altar. Your spiritual awakening is my Tuesday afternoon, and yet something about your thirsty touch, your flawed and breaking shell, makes me check my power at the door. When I shed my skin onto you, and you kiss the corners of me that haven't seen light, am I not the sun? When I put you to sleep and leave you a naked picture of fragility, am I not the moon? Your organs rise and fall before me, and yet you disregard me for your daily duties. What of me can I stand down to make myself soft enough for you to stay? What must I build to be your home? What of these valleys and hills, bush and fire in my body is not enough of an ecosystem? Oh, if you could steady your wandering feet, I'd imagine you know how to be a good man, how to still be here in the morning. But go, eat the apple, and love the bodies not anointed in the same oils as mine. And this will be your original sin, your first steps out of my door.
That was Matteo Geneva. Give it up for that poet and that wonderful poem. I love the video and the poetry coming together. You telling me a poem poeted this video? I'm trying really hard, but I loved it. Jackson, did you love it? Oh, he loved it so much. He has to lie down. Oh, what a life. Oh, to be a kitty. Awesome. Let's see what y'all have to say in the Discord. This poet too, all caps. I've begged God to nullify the sin of rushed breath. Wow, poet. Damn. I am not the moon. Hey, star. Wow. This poem. Also, all of this poetry is heart emoji. So many heart emojis. It's definitely not too late for you to join the Discord in the link right here and chat it up with some folks and let us know how you're feeling about these wonderful, wonderful poems. Also, this is just a poetry showcase. There's no scores, and so I want extra love. I want extra tenderness. I want to know how you're feeling. Tell me how you're feeling, audience. Let me know. Drop a GIF of how. Drop a GIF of how you're feeling right now. That's what I want to know. I want a GIF representation of your emotions. A+ hosting, Robin. A poem poeted this poetry. That's bars. Thank you. It's what I live to do. Awesome. We're gonna give it up for our next wonderful artist. Give it up for Sydney Dick.
Have you ever just stopped and took a look around at all the beauty waiting there to be found by someone? It's oddly calming. It's oddly calming to know that something as simple and something as innocent as just sitting in the garden can take you to much higher levels. Though it is all but a place to sit and to listen and to just breathe, it also initiates a full system reset of not only your mind but your body. Because it is quiet here in the garden as I pick up my pieces that I'd once discarded, as I attempt to organize them while I continue to move. I was still content with how I was living in solitude and with loneliness. You met me at a very strange time in my life, a time where much was dull and scattered, when I couldn't find anything beautiful left in the world. Honestly, I didn't even try to find anything. I'd already given up, so what was the point? But do not forget about the world. She has more wisdom than all in any of us. She is kind enough to fuel our bodies with her own. The earth provides for us, lives for us. So notice how beautiful the earth is, how beautiful we are. Notice how she is taken for granted by us. The earth sings of how we became selfish, but acknowledge that we are here. And right now, in this moment, acknowledge just how crazy it is that within it all, I found you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That was your poet, Sydney. Audience, let's see how you're feeling with your feelings. Yay for no scores. Yes. I love not assigning arbitrary numbers to art. Wonderful. All right, we got some gifts. Millie Bobby Brown with the boom. There's a dog digging in the sand. Relatable content. Just a big heart wow gif. A gif of a sloth from Zootopia, I'm guessing, just slowly breaking out into a smile. I feel great. Somebody with a cheese grater. Wonderful. Taylor Swift. Chef's kissing. All this poetry is chef's kiss. This voice is doing things to my heart. Impact poetry. So many feelings. These poems are so good. Let me remind y'all about tickets to this event. If you want to purchase a ticket to this event, you can. Most of the proceeds will be going to House of Pentacles, which is an awesome organization for Black trans youth filmmakers, and they're doing wonderfully. So go buy some tickets and give them some money. Also, if you're like, wait, this is the last event of festival? I want more. You should go check out our Instagram and see all the wonderful artists that have featured as a part of our festival this week, and go follow them on Instagram and see what they're doing. If you loved a poet, if you say you loved Namita, you loved Dana DeSamdi, you loved Jamie Williams, go to our Instagram and figure it and give them a follow. Just go for it. They're gonna have more wonderful poetry stuff happening. Poetry doesn't start and stop with this festival. It is everywhere around us. So I wholly encourage you to go ahead and follow those wonderful artists on the on the internet. Awesome. We're gonna get up for our next wonderful artist, Reality.
When you fight, she'll become a shell. Every time you raise your hands, her body will launch into fight or flight. She will cover her face. You stop and you look at her. You wonder, what is she doing? Well, it's the only thing she knows how to. Then it hits you. And though a million years that thought has never crossed your mind, she's lived this scenario too many times. You stop, you hold her hands. Her eyes filled with fear. She knows you would never, but for too long, this was her norm. You think, how could a woman as confident as her quiver in fear like this? You hold her and you apologize for yelling. You ask to talk this out. Now, it is her turn to look at you. With confusion etched on her face, you sit and talk until you are no longer angry at her, but at the boy who scarred her like this. You want to erase all those times he struck her in anger or made her feel as if she wasn't good enough. She looks at you after telling you her story. She speaks quietly, so quietly, in fact, you almost can't hear the way her apology quivers and shakes in the back of her throat. She says she wouldn't blame you if you left, that she is a lot and will take time to fix. But you see nothing that's broken. You see a girl who loves to dance in the rain. You see her the very same way you did when you first laid eyes on her, but you refuse to see her as broken. You see a woman too trusting of a boy who did not deserve her. You see the silent scars that she carries like knives lodged in her back. You wish you could take the pain away, wish you could do to him 10 times what he did to her. And when she falls asleep that night, gently curled in the corner of your bed, her body like a crescent moon, hair an elegant frame around her tired face, you will see the softer side of her, the side she keeps at bay for fear of seeming weak, when in reality she is the strongest person you know. When you get in beside her and her body relaxes under the touch of your hand, she will shape herself to fit like a puzzle piece next to you, her fingertips on your chest. She will sigh with relief, knowing she is finally safe. And in the darkest moments of the night, silently you apologize for ever thinking she was a shell, when really she was the whole damn ocean.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That was reality. Folks, let's see how you're feeling. I'm actually floored. This is such good content. Thanks for uplifting organizations like House of Pentacles. That's awesome. We've been organizing and giving back to a bunch of wonderful organizations this week. Some of them have been Not Another Black Life and Trans Femmes in the Arts, or Black Trans Femmes in the Arts, my apologies. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful time. If you want to donate money, you can. We have so many organizations that we want to uplift and help. And if you're like, I want more resources on organizations that can help and other artists of color and Black artists and Indigenous artists that I can support, specifically Black artists, you can take a look at our website. There's a section there with a bunch of Black artists that we love and adore. And if you're like, yeah, this is a good list, I'm going to look at all of these people's social medias now and buy all the things and give them shout outs. That's a wonderful time too. Oh, wow, this poem, heart emoji. So much love. Yes, yes, yes. Her body like a crescent moon, a tender image italicized. Ooh, oh, don't mind if I do. So tender. That last line, an actual mic drop in all capitals. My love for Billy the kid in this Discord chat using all the different kinds of stylized letters you can use. We stan a Discord legend. She was the whole damn ocean. We stan healthy communication. Yes, please. We really do. Healthy communication. Sign me up for that shit. Awesome. And in case you're like, I love healthy communication and communicating through means of poetry and consuming poetry, well, I have a very awkward segue for you. Hello. Last year at our 2019 festival, we had a bunch of our participants make a chapbook together, and it was the workshop was run and the book was facilitated. The book was edited. The book was edited by Zoe Roy, and there's a link right here for you to go ahead and buy one of those chapbooks if you want to see some awesome art from some of the poets who were a part of festival this year, some of the poets who aren't a part of festival. Some of our organizing committee has poems in that chapbook. And like, if you want to give that a look-see, give it a look-see. And if you're like, hold on, wait. Organizing committee? Yes, if you are 25 and under and want to help make this festival happen on the regular, give us a shout at our Instagram or slide into our email right here. The link is right here. And let us know if you want to be a part of the organizing committee. If you're 25 and under, that's our age cutoff. We're a poetry festival for youth, by youth, and we're always looking for more wonderful, wonderful humans to join our team. Bro, come on. A little organizing as a treat. We love that. Awesome. We're going to give it up for our next poet, who is unfortunately our last showcase artist as well, but definitely not the least. This human is actually our festival champion. Give it up for Hector Castaneda, aka Dog Days Are Over.
In the distance, I hear a knocking, and it does not make me cower. Like my mother's knuckle knocks, it cradles the internality of my forehead and sparks, catalyzes its inner uncrucifying from the body held onto so tight for so long, for so many centuries. The way light glints at its own reflection, it glistens and gleams into God's last dream, dissolved onto the mouths of his disciples during his last supper. Supper is just a synonym for rite of passage for slumber. And so in the thesaurus of my mind, my every stomached meal becomes a ritual, becomes the inversion of sacramented Eucharist. And my every ancestor awakens from the grave of my inner mind mausoleum, and they chant in harmonies stacked like summits, birthing other mountains on top of themselves. And in this way, I am reborn like I always am. Every day this ceremony blesses my skin with the alive of my pulse, and I tap my wrists in awe of their organic machinery, and how my breath is the summary of my well-being, and how many bodies have died in the name of unjust sacrilege, and how the priest never forgives sinners within the depths of his locked box chest. And isn't lockbox just a man's way of imprisoning what he knows can set fire to his skyscrapers, like his sky suddenly scraping itself into the multiplicity of a black hole singularity, until his ego crumbles back into the stardust that birthed it, like how a mother could unbirth their child at any moment but does not, and thus the undoing becomes the holy, and thus I am undone until I am nothing but a ball of light floating incandescent in the hands of God, telling my father that God had something special in mind when he decided to emerge me from the shadows of what should have never been born. My mother's birth canal was too narrow, my cranium too large. To this day, I've had to constantly allow ancestral and descendant energies to cradle me out from narrow birth canals each time I'm reborn, and this channeling and everything but a death, and death is nothing but a vein collapsing into a root system, and I am every nothing that brought me here to breathe myself into existence until I resurrect every choir the preacher deemed too revolutionary, too potent, too earthquake. And so I paint a self-portrait each time enough of my cells invert themselves into near irrecognition, and my cognition expands beyond the telescope of the previously impossible, and possibility becomes but a crystalline sphere within my grasp, and I sigh at how closed eyes could channel a river through their forehead as well. All they have to do is sit in a field of bullets and neuron and bone and blood and clay and metal and fire and webs and mirrors and kaleidoscopes, and listen and listen and listen, 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 listen.
That was Dog Days Are Over. All right, folk, let's hear it. First of all, my heart. I love that. Second of all, I love hosting showcases and not slams because I can be so biased. That was so good. All right, let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Woo, Hector. Woo, I am reborn like I always am. This poem is amazing and the videography is so cool. This imagery flows so well with the flow of the literal images. Wow. How a mother could unbirth her child at any moment. Wow. I am every nothing that brought me here. Oh, so good. Until I resurrect every choir to the preacher deemed too revolutionary. Wow. The ending. All of these poems, all of these poets, all of these films, just so good. And I have to agree there. Oh my God. That was a phenomenal lineup of artists who have been bringing it all week and have just blown us all away here. And unfortunately, that's the end of our show. But before we leave, I want to thank some wonderful humans and some organizations. Firstly, thank you to the Canadian Filmmakers Distribution Center for allowing us to partner up with them and give us these super dope silent films, and to all the queer artists who made those films so that we could have some wonderful, wonderful poetry on top of it. Here's a link to their website if you want to check them out, because they're super dope. Thank you to Morgan for being here earlier today in the show to tell us more about CFMDC. Also, shout out to all of the wonderful, wonderful volunteers who volunteered here today for this event. Thank you to Billy, Zane, Cass, Britt, Kay, Noah, LJ, and to every other person on our FOC as well. Chuck, Jill, Xander's been here volunteering, Oshin, Allie, Cass. It's just been amazing. And I've had such a pleasure on working on this, working on Humans. Great, good festival, and my heart full tender. Thank you. Thank you. Also, we couldn't have made this festival happen without some wonderful, wonderful sponsors. Money for art. Okay, I can buy it. Money for youth art. Stop. Money for mainly gay, racialized youth art. Stop. I know. It happened. They fucked with the vision. Shout out to the Ontario Arts Council, the Toronto Arts Council, as well as Golden Brick Road Publishing, and shout out to EcoJot and Living Hyphen for their support on social media and with the prizes for this festival. Y'all better go off in the Discord about our wonderful sponsors, because it's a bunch of gay artists in a Zoom call. And then with some money, it's a bunch of gay artists in a Zoom call, the festival. And that's what we love to see. And they've not just helped us out this year, but these councils have helped us out every year this festival is run. And so we are consistently thankful for their consistent support. Yeah, we have some wonderful comments. I don't know how to say anything except art. So art. Rock stars, what a great group of humans. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, Festival Organizing Committee. Thank you, volunteers. I love you all. And I love you all. And that is the end of Voices of Today 2020. We have made it through. I'm sad to see it go. I'm sure y'all are sad to see it go. If you want to help be a part of the organizing committee, our email will pop up. Feel free to stay in the Discord and chat your little hearts away. Feel free to follow us on Instagram for more updates on a future festival or future events. I've been your host, Robin Corsidu. This has been Sleepy Jackson. And that's the end. Have a wonderful rest of your day.